Before we begin, we'd like to dedicate this performance to Todd Keppel. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Greetings, and welcome to a second night of horror and suspense, broadcasting from the WSCE studios and through the generous sponsorship of Life Incorporated. St. Charles East Theater presents Frankenstein, a radio play written by Philip Grecian based on his stage play and the novel by Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley. I'm your host, Megan Yarusso. Our story begins in a moment, but first, a word from tonight's sponsor.
Good evening. My name is Jennifer One, the head of Life Incorporated. At Life Incorporated, we've created a team of scientists with one goal in mind: to take the nature out of natural selection. From color to size to shape, Mother Nature has consistently failed to keep up with modern trends. So we have taken nature's decisions and put them in the hands of those to whom it matters the most: you. Throughout the night, we'll be introducing you to several of the products Life Incorporated has created to give you exactly what you desire, what you deserve. The future is bright. Shouldn't it be perfect?
Indeed. Thank you, Life Incorporated. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our story. Turn out your lights and move closer to the glow of your radio dial as WSCE Radio presents Frankenstein. In the summer of 1816, 5 writers were vacationing at the Villa Diodoro in Switzerland. Lord Byron, Claire Clairmont, John Polidori, Byron's physician, Percy Bysshe Shelley, and his 19-year-old mistress, Mary Wollstonecraft, whom he would wed by year's end. It was an unseasonably wet summer. The group, often confined indoors, wrote ghost stories and read them aloud to pass the time. Mary's story had a dramatic effect, for Lord Byron, upon hearing it, ran from the room in fright. With the encouragement of Byron and Shelley, Mary expanded her story to novel length, publishing it 2 years later. And ever since that time, it has been a favorite all over the world. Come with us now, through the power of your imagination. Travel back into history. Hear our story, the story of Frankenstein. Fog on the horizon, Captain!
Steady as she goes.
Aye, aye!
We set sail in June of that year, over the top of the world, seeking the northwest passage from Russia to the Pacific Ocean. The ice made progress slow, but by early August, the polar region was in sight.
More ice floes, Captain.
Keep moving.
The fog, Captain! She's rolling in!
See for steam while you can.
Aye, aye, sir!
Can't see, Captain.
Ice, Captain!
Ice on the port bow.
Ice hitting the starboard bow! Dead in the water, Captain! Ice got us wedged in.
We sat motionless for hours, and then the fog lifted and beheld in all directions an endless plain of ice, white and silver against the dead gray sky.
Captain!
Aye.
Off the port bow.
What's he doing out in this?
Look at the size of him.
He knows where he's going.
I ran to the rail and saw it. A low carriage fixed on a sled and drawn by dogs. The driver, a man, gigantic in stature, visible for a moment and then embraced by the fog. Nothing to do with us. I'm going below to get a little sleep. Wake me when the ice breaks.
Aye, Captain.
Captain! Captain!
Just a moment. What is it?
Ice broke, sir.
Ah, good.
And another dog sled, sir. Drifted up against the ship on a chunk of ice.
You're sure it's not the same one?
Different one. Dogs are all dead.
Any men?
1, unconscious. We're bringing him down.
And here, put him on that bunk. Brandy, bring brandy.
Yes, sir.
And blankets.
This is a ship
The good ship called Sidus.
bound
North
to the pole.
and beyond.
Good.
I'm Robert Walton, captain of the ship.
Frankenstein. Victor Frankenstein.
German.
Swiss.
Explorer.
I seek the one who fled from me.
Blanket, sir, and brandy.
On the table.
Anything else, sir?
Thank you, no.
Very good, sir.
The one you seek, he travels in the same fashion?
By sled? Yes.
Then I fancy we've seen him.
When? Where?
Here, drink.
Thank you. Now, tell me quickly.
Yesterday, we saw a sled with a man on it. A giant of a man.
Yes, traveling north.
Aye.
Good. I have, doubtless, excited your curiosity.
A man's life is his own.
Were it that simple.
You have family then?
Once, no longer.
Then you're responsible to know about yourself.
You think so, eh? I will tell you my tale, then, and I pray you find a moral in it.
Not if it pains you.
I am beyond pain.
Oh, but then you shouldn't.
Listen. In my boyhood, I had an eager desire to learn. I rejected empty nursery rhymes with the ancient writings of the alchemist and was filled with a fervent longing to penetrate the secrets of nature. When the time came, I enrolled at the University of Ingolstadt and was fortunate in attracting the attention of Professor Waldman, who chaired the Department of Surgery and ultimately became my mentor. I graduated at top of my class, my head filled with ideas, my heart filled with little. In the evening, after our graduation ceremonies, I invited Professor Waldman and my dear friend Henry Craval to dinner at my chateau.
An excellent meal, Victor. Never thought of you as a chef. A surgeon, yes. A chemist, absolutely. But a chef.
There is, Henry, a fine line between the brilliant chemist and the brilliant chef.
And you've crossed that line.
And I've crossed that line. Professor Waldman, you've enjoyed the meal?
A fine dinner, Victor, but the chateau. You're alone here.
Not for long. Victor and Elizabeth will be married soon.
You will live here.
No, Geneva.
Then,
I require a room here for my work.
and no servants.
They would disturb me.
Just what is your work, Victor?
Speculative, mostly. The nature of disease, the brain, the body.
Ah, to eliminate all disease, cure the lame and the halt, and create a perfect world.
Yes, exactly.
Such are the goals of all my students as they pass from the university.
And if we were to move beyond those goals,
Beyond.
we correct God's mistakes with science every day. So then, why stop there? We could improve upon the original plan, achieve perfection, flawless creatures, a new Adam, a perfect Eve. What then, Professor?
Why then, my boy, we would be gods.
Gods!
And bear the responsibilities of gods.
Yes, I suppose that's so. Gods.
This would be an interesting discussion for a rainy afternoon, Victor. Of course, if such a thing were possible, it could only end in tragedy.
Of course.
And your plans, Henry?
Find monasteries in town, fix my shingle at the door, and establish a practice.
I wish you much success.
Would anybody care for sherry?
Ah, thank you. No, it grows late. I must be going.
It was good of you to come this evening.
Your company is always a pleasure, Victor.
I'd best go as well.
Stay a bit, will you, Henry? There's something I wish to discuss with you.
Ah, well, certainly. I'll have some of that sherry after all, then.
Professor, I'll see you to the door.
That won't be necessary. I can find my way. Good night, Victor.
Professor.
Professor. Now, what did you want to talk about?
You spoke of rooms in town?
Yes,
Move in here.
but earlier you said
I need your help, Henry.
my help.
Yes.
In your work, you mean?
I can't do it myself, Henry. I need an extra pair of hands. Another surgeon. Oh, he needn't be brilliant. Adequate would do.
I beg your pardon?
Henry, what I said to Professor Waldman.
Oh, yes, of course. Creating the perfect man.
Think of it, Henry. A new race, not subject to disease, infirmity, death. Beautiful in form, powerful in body. I could do it, Henry.
What? Create a man?
Life, Henry. Create life. I could do it. We could do it.
You're serious?
I've already begun
Begun?
to build a man.
What?
Slowly, you understand, to avoid suspicion.
No, wait. You're saying you've been building
It's taken me nearly 2 years.
2 years? But you can't.
There's no time to start at the cellular level. So, I've been forced to employ some pre-existing components.
What?
Don't look so shocked, Henry. We've spent the last several years at the university dissecting cadavers, tossing about bones. You'd be surprised how much can simply disappear with no one to the wiser. But there's still things I need. It'll be necessary to spend time watching at churchyards.
Watching it grave robbing?
Henry, it'll all just rot away. Food for the worms. Can it be a crime to steal from worms?
But there are families
Who
who...
had their chance at the ceremony. The period of mourning happens whether there's a body or not. And sooner or later, there's nothing but dust in a coffin anyway.
But Victor...
And who's to know, Henry? Who's to know? They'll continue to weep over an empty grave, bring flowers to a vacant piece of ground. The palliative effect is the same.
A point, certainly, but
And the dead have another chance
another chance.
at life, Henry. Henry, we could create a perfect human race, free of disease, impervious to age. What a boon to humanity.
Put that way, it seems heroic.
Heroic. Yes, heroic. So, you're with me?
Well,
You're with me.
Victor, I've always supported you in your...
Good, excellent.
But...
Now, quickly, pull on your coat. There's a fresh grave in the churchyard and tools in the carriage.
What?
When we've finished, we'll make our rounds of the morgue and try on our houses. We'll be heroes, Henry. We'll be benefactors. We'll be gods!
Mother?
In the parlor, Catherine.
Look, Mother. Justine's taught me to... What is it called, Justine?
Crochet.
Justine's taught me to crochet, you see?
Very nice, dear. Handkerchief.
No, it's for the back of a chair.
Of course.
And where will this one go, Catherine?
On Victor's big chair in the library, where he used to sit and frown over his books.
He always did frown poring over those old books, didn't he? A letter's come today, you see.
From Victor?
From Henry, but I'm sure it's all about Victor. Your brother never writes, but Henry keeps us posted.
For Elizabeth?
Yes, for Elizabeth.
I'm going to put this on Victor's chair. Don't let anyone move it, Mother. I want Victor to see it when he comes home.
She's growing up, Justine. You've done well with her.
I'm only her governess.
You've had as much to do with raising her as I have, perhaps more. A child's future is a parent's duty. I wonder if I've given enough.
You've given everything, to Catherine as well as to me.
Nonsense.
I was an orphan. You took me in, provided me with a home and education.
I needed a governess for my child.
You could have found an older, better one. I was barely 13.
You were always older than your years.
She gets her schooling from the tutors, her meals from the housekeeper and the cook. My duties have been a little more than a big sister.
An excellent example. She needed a governess.
And I needed a family. You shared yours. You've never treated me as a servant.
Justine, come see.
Coming, Catherine. You had no duty toward me, Baroness, and yet you gave me a future. For that, and so much more, I will always be grateful.
Justine.
Good morning, Baroness.
Good morning, Justine.
Here I come, Catherine.
All my little ones. All my little ones. Elizabeth! Elizabeth, are you upstairs?
What is it, Baroness?
A letter for you.
A letter? From Victor?
From Henry, but I'm sure it's all about Victor. Here you are.
Thank you. They said they'd be coming home next month. Henry just to visit, but Victor...
Yes, you have wedding plans to make. Victor's always been single-minded, but I cannot fathom how
Oh.
he... What is it?
They won't be coming home next month after all. Victor has some research, and Henry's working with him.
The wedding.
Not a word.
Oh.
Henry's simply forgotten to mention it. I'm sure he thinks of it every day, and he'll be home very soon.
Of course he will.
If not next month, well, then the month after. The wedding isn't until the fall, and we... If you'll excuse me, Baroness,
Certainly. Oh, Victor. What are you doing? What in the world are you doing?
The stars are at its peak, Victor.
Come here, Henry.
There's no time with...
Come here, come here.
Very well, but...
Look at him.
Victor, I've been looking at him for months now.
He's beautiful.
Perhaps with on that bandaging.
You know he is. I selected his features to be beautiful. Noble high forehead, rich black hair, strong jaw, broad shoulders. Look, look, look.
Victor, the storm is rising.
What?
The storm.
Oh, yes. We must move quickly. The attachments.
In place.
The lightning rods.
Connected.
Open the skylight.
Victor, training in.
Let it rain. Quickly now. Raise the table up. Send him. Send him up. 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 There he goes. Up to the heavens. To see a light from the gods. The lightning. Look, Henry. The lightning. Switch on the generator. Shh. Look at it, Henry. Look at it. And there. You see? The lightning. We collect lightning from the heavens. We steal fire from the gods like Prometheus, Henry.
Batteries are full, Victor.
Transfer in 3, 2. Now, Henry, now! We are titans! We are creators! We are gods! Switch off the machines. Now, bring it down. Bring it down. Quickly, quickly. Here it is. Here, easy now. Easy, easy. Now, quickly. Disconnect the electrodes. Quickly, man, quickly.
I'm doing the best.
Out of the way, out of the way. Bring me the stethoscope connection. Hurry, hurry. No, no, no. Connect it to the machine first, so we can hear. Hurry, man.
Here.
Give it to me. Close the skylight.
Victor, I don't...
Shut up. Listen. Listen. Hear that?
Oh my god.
Hear it.
I never imagined...
Quiet, damn you, quiet. It's alive! It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
What's in store for Victor and his new creation? We'll find out after a word from our sponsor.
Hey, Barb. Lovely day, isn't it?
I suppose. How's Sparky doing? Enjoying his walk? Are you, boy?
So did you and Hank finally decide if you were going to be dog people or cat people?
Oh, Mary, it's quite the pickle. We'll never come to a decision. I've always wanted a dog, but Hank finds our unconditional love off-putting. And Hank likes cats, but I find them judgy and aloof. I don't know how we'll make a decision.
Now you won't have to. Are these types of decisions ruining your wedded bliss? Are your children deafening you with endless pet choice debates? Hello, I'm Jennifer 17. At Life Incorporated, we make those choices easier. Simply pick the features of any animal you desire, and, utilizing our pathogenesis process, we will build you the perfect pet to love. A snake with fur that loves to cuddle, a guinea pig that glows in the dark and has 8 legs for extra hugs, a goldfish that sings and flies about the room. This only scratches the surface of what Life Incorporated can create for you. We are only limited by your imagination. All creations guaranteed to be better than its original parts, with the Life Incorporated promise of perfection.
Hello, Barb. I see you finally found a furry friend.
We sure did. Hank and I went to Life Incorporated, answered a questionnaire, and after a brief incubation period, poof! Whittle X3843781 is just what we needed. It has all the features of cats and dogs we love, with none of the faults.
What's that beautiful color? I've never seen it on a pet before.
Avocado green. I wanted it to match the kitchen.
Brilliant! And standing so tall and perfect, staring at the children like that. Is it salivating?
That's how it shows its love. It does the same thing when looking at me and Hank. Don't you, Cutie Pie?
Well, Barb, I'm officially jealous.
Thank you, Life Incorporated.
All creations guaranteed to be better than its original parts, each with the Life Incorporated promise of perfection. The future is bright. Shouldn't it be perfect?
And now, we return to the WSCE Radio Players production of Frankenstein.
Yes?
I've come to... Henry.
Professor Waldman.
You've come to visit Victor as well, then?
No, Professor, I live here.
No shingle on the door in town after all?
Not at present in any case.
Well then, I wonder if I might come in.
I'm afraid that would be impossible.
Impossible?
Just now, we're very busy.
Busy?
Yes.
Doing what?
I'm not.
Research?
Yes, research. I'm helping Victor, you see, and we...
What sort of research?
I'm not at liberty to say.
Not at... Very well. Please tell Victor I was here.
Yes, of course, Professor.
I thought it might be diverting to meet again. Perhaps in my room?
Yes.
One evening soon for a meal, some wine, and conversation?
Yes, fine. I'll talk to Rich about...
I've been thinking about the discussion topic Victor brought up the other week.
Discussion topic?
Concerning the responsibilities of gods.
Yes, of course.
Hypothetical, of course.
Of course, yes.
But intriguing nonetheless. A point to ponder, eh? Well, good evening, Henry.
Good evening, Professor.
Who was it?
Oh, Victor, you startled me. I didn't hear...
Who was it?
Professor Waldman.
What did you tell him?
Nothing.
You're certain?
I'm certain. Calm down, Victor. Calm down. Give it 7 days. You're being...
Who can sleep with that?
Victor, you gotta get hold of yourself. You can't...
He's not beautiful, Henry.
No, Victor. He's not beautiful.
I meant him to be. The size of him, the physique, the hair, the brow. They're meant for a god.
I know, Victor.
Instead, they form a horrible contrast with those dead eyes.
Victor.
God, Henry. His skin scarcely covers the muscles and the arteries and the scarring. I never considered.
Victor, you must...
He's not beautiful, Henry. He is not. He was meant to be articulate. The brain. It took the brain mere hours from internment. You understand?
Victor, you're
mere
killing yourself.
hours. Of course. You could assume there's a certain amount of damage for the time without oxygen, but I allowed for that, Henry. I allowed for that. I did. There were certain processes that I didn't.
Victor, you're making yourself ill.
Henry, do you remember Professor Crumprey?
Of course. Doctor of Natural Philosophy. Brilliant. Died last year in term.
It was his brain.
No, hardly as I recall.
The creature has his brain.
Good God.
I didn't expect brilliance. Oxygen deprivation would have taken its toll, but I hope for something better than a feeble-minded beast.
Crumpy.
Time to feed it again. I picked something up at the butcher's this afternoon.
I'll go extinguish my reading lamp and join the cellar door.
Very well.
My God, Victor, what are you feeding it?
Carcass of a pig. Got it at the butcher's.
A more than reasonable price, I hope. That sack fairly reeks.
He doesn't seem to mind. On that wall. That torch. Bring it alone. Hold it close. I can't see a bloody thing down here.
Watch this turn on the stairs. See, perhaps we can leave the sack here and...
Stinks of an animal. There's no creeping up on it. Look at it, Henry. Look at it. What have I done? What have I wrought from this creator's discarded clay?
I had a hand in this too.
I spent 2 years creating this obscenity.
He's got that as food.
Here, you misbegotten nightmare, catch. This is my punishment for stealing fire from the gods.
What now, Victor? We can't leave him down here forever. We're responsible for him. We must...
Responsible for this?
Yes, of course.
No. No. My intention was to create a new race. More gods than man. This animal that sits in the filthy straw is God's way of mocking me. No. I shan't be responsible for it. I shall destroy it.
Destroy it? It's impossible.
Do you think it cannot die, Henry?
Oh, yes, Victor, it can die. But it will not die easily. You've seen to that with what you've done to it on the cellular level. Its healing factors are amazing and it's...
I shall destroy it.
Then you'll be a murderer.
A murderer?
Exactly.
I am its maker.
And therefore carry more responsibility than right.
The life it has, I gave to it. I did it. I give it life.
And that does not give you the right to take it back. His heart beats, he breathes. He lives independent from our machines. Victor, it is a life, a living being. Perhaps it even has a soul.
Soul?
A soul.
Rubbish! I can provide an inventory of everything I put into it. I stitched in lungs, I stitched in muscles, I stitched in no soul.
And that does not mean it hasn't one. What is it? What's happening to him?
The food was drugged, Henry. With enough poison to kill a dozen men.
You can't poison it, Victor. You know that. It's equivalent to fire as
No, but I can kill it with this.
A pistol?
That's the plan, you see. To weaken it. To provide opportunity. So that I can move in on it. Like this.
Victor, no!
Give me that torch. What say you now, Henry? You think a bullet with a brain will kill it? Not here, perhaps. Just in front of the ear.
Victor, please.
I can never poison it, you see. Even now, its immune system is built in defenses. At least I did that right in the creation of my Ubermensch. Another 10 minutes, I would have slit up the effects of the poison. Let it slit up the bullet to medulla. Now, hold very still. This won't hurt a bit.
Out it!
Let go of me! Let go! The torch!
Let's have to stir a fire!
Let go of me, you monster! Quickly! Behind the stairs!
Here, Victor! Over here, the creature! Can you see? Look out! The steed is coming down!
There's no saving him now! Miss Beth, quickly, quickly!
Victor? Victor? Are you awake?
Elizabeth, I dozed off while you were reading to me.
Professor Waldman's here to see you.
Hello, Victor.
Professor, what are you doing in Geneva?
I am often in Geneva. I have family here. And how could I not come to visit you and your lovely bride-to-be?
Will you be able to come to the wedding, Professor?
I would not miss it.
Well, I shall leave you two gentlemen alone. Victor will finish reading this evening after dinner.
Good.
A pleasure, Professor.
The pleasure is mine, Miss Lavenza. So, how are you, Victor?
Better this last week, I think. According to the doctors, I should be able to get out of bed in the next couple of days, I concur.
Self-diagnosis, eh?
Of course.
I was sorry to hear of the fire. Were you able to save anything?
No. Nothing. Just ashes.
Your notes? Your research?
Gone. All gone.
What a tragedy.
A tragedy, yes. Henry was the hero of the hour. I've been overcome with the smoke. You carried me out, saved my life.
I heard, yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you had a visitor.
Come in, Justine. Come in. Professor Waldman, this is Justine Moritz.
Miss Moritz?
Professor.
Justine is my sister's governess, my mother's household lieutenant, and just lately, my nurse.
Ah, then you are responsible for that delightful young soul I met at the door.
Yes, sir.
You must be very proud of her.
Yes, sir, I am. Herr Frankenstein, have you taken your medicine?
Not yet.
It's past time.
I'll get to it.
Now would be a good time, lest you forget.
It would appear you are as proficient a nurse as you are a governess.
She's a taskmaster. Very well. Here, Pass me that water, please.
Here you are, sir.
And there. I've taken the medicine and washed it down like a good fellow.
Thank you, sir. A pleasure, Professor Waldman.
Mine as well, Justine. Victor, I'd best go as well. Good to see you looking well, and from what Elizabeth has said, you're finally setting a date for that wedding.
Yes, as soon as I've regained my strength.
Excellent. Take care.
Oh, Professor!
Henry, I understand you're something of a hero.
Hero?
You saved Victor's life.
Oh, well,
And it occurs to me the three of us still have a topic to discuss.
we do?
Regarding?
The responsibility of a god or his creation.
I see.
What prompts this topic, Professor?
You don't remember? Victor, you brought it up yourself that evening at dinner. I've been thinking of it ever since. An excellent pursuit.
Oh.
For discussion. Well, I must go. Be well, Victor.
Thank you
Be
for stopping.
well.
Thank you for stopping by, Professor.
Good afternoon, Henry.
Professor? Victor, do you think he knows?
No, of course not. How could he?
Sometimes it's uncanny what he seems to know.
It's a trick of his. Suggest you know more than you do and see what you can learn.
Still.
The house burned completely, did it not?
Yes, of course.
Ashes. Just ashes. No furniture, no paper, no laboratory equipment, no Correct, no bones.
No, of course not. The chemicals in the lab saw to that. The fire was really white hot, and not a timber standing. Nothing left but a pit of ashes.
Good. My coat. My notebook was in my coat pocket with all my notes about the creation.
You had no coat, Victor.
But I did, I tell you. If anyone found
You must have left it in there. In the cellar with that poor creature.
Yes, of course. I must have. Then it burned as surely as he did.
Still, it haunts me.
What?
What if he didn't burn, Victor? What if he survived?
Didn't.
But if he had, suddenly free of that cellar. After all, he has Krempe's brain.
Krempe's deteriorated brain. Erased of all its knowledge.
True, but consider the potential. Krempe was brilliant. That man in that massive, nearly immortal body, he could...
I do not wish to discuss this. The creature did not survive.
But if he had...
If he had, why, then he would be like an animal loose in the world. He cannot possibly understand.
Who's there? If you've come to rob me, take what you like. Look around inside my cabin too. The door is open. I haven't much to steal, and as I am blind, I make a poor witness to crime. No? Well, if you haven't come to rob me, perhaps you'd care to sit with me a while, eh? Oh, a music lover then. Is that it? I don't understand what you are saying.
I can't.
Are you not native born? German perhaps? Fruen? No? Ami? Britta? Barretz? Britten?
I speak.
Oh, of course. Forgive me, my friend. It is not that you speak another language. It is that you cannot speak at all. Is that it?
Yeah.
Well, we are a fine pair, are we not? You cannot speak and I cannot see. Ah, but you have the capacity. Has no one ever taught you to speak? Something terrible must have happened to cause you to lose your ability to speak. Some grave accident, yes. I lost my sight through an accident as well. Well then, we can help each other. While you are with me, you can be my eyes.
Yeah.
And I will be your tutor. Agreed?
Yeah.
We will help each other, because we are friends. Can you say that?
Huh?
Friend. Can you say it? Friend. Friend.
Friend.
Yes!
Friend.
Excellent, excellent, my friend. Yes, yes!
Friend. Friend.
Yes.
After this short break for your local stations, we will return to the WSCE Radio Players production of Frankenstein. And now, we return to Frankenstein.
Victor!
Hello, Kat. Good afternoon, Justine.
Herr Frankenstein?
Victor! Justine's taking me on a picnic.
Really?
Oh, yes, and we're going on a walk to catch butterflies and find snails in the pond. Aren't we, Justine?
Yes, we are.
Do you want to come?
I haven't the strength for long walks yet.
But it's been weeks.
Not much longer, Kat. And when the doctors say I'm well enough, that's the first thing I want to do. A picnic and a snail hunting expedition.
Promise?
Promise.
Come, Justine. Let's decide what to take for our picnic.
I'm coming.
Have we worn you out yet, Justine? Nursing me back to health and seeing to Catherine?
Oh, no, sir. And my time with Catherine, helping her to learn and grow, it helps to make up for. You know about my father?
I do?
He went mad.
Yes.
He rose early one morning, put on tea, and then did horrible things, unspeakable things.
Justine, you needn't...
I saw it all, and I ran. I hid where he couldn't find me. He said angels told him to do it.
Yes.
They executed him. And I will never forget being so alone and terrified in the workhouse, whipped and treated like an animal, and your mother coming for me and shouting at the steward who had been such a demon and taking me by the hand.
She knew your mother.
The Baroness, you and Catherine, you gave me a life, and I am forever in your debt.
Justine!
Coming! I can repay only a part of that debt by helping to raise Catherine, and so she is my responsibility and my blessing, and I love her with all of my heart.
Justine.
Excuse me, sir.
Of course.
Coming, little cat.
A blessing. A life. A life.
And the Lord God formed man of the dust, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. And man became a living soul. You'll see those words in the book, my friend.
Yes. You know these words, DeLacy?
I do. I have read a good book many times.
You are blind.
I was not always blind, my friend. Seems we're in for a storm.
Yes. It is turning very dark.
Well, we won't let it bother us. We'll stay inside and build a fire in the hearth. You can read and I will recite. Would you like to hear more?
Yes, yes.
Therefore the Lord God sent him forth from the Garden of Eden to till the ground from which he was made. Can you find those words?
Yes, yes.
Then read, my friend.
So he drove out the man, and he placed
cherubim
at the east, and a flaming sword which turned every way to guard the tree of life.
Ah, well done, my friend. You'll learn quickly and well.
God made us, DeLacy?
He did.
Then I have seen God.
I suppose each of us has seen God in his own way.
No, I have seen him. I have seen God, DeLacy.
You are mistaken, my friend.
No, I remember. I was cast out into the burning pit by God for my sins.
No.
Yes. I was driven from the garden with the flaming sword, but there's no Lady Eve. I was alone. I have no Eve. Where's my Eve, DeLacy?
That was a long time ago, and no man has ever seen the face of God.
I have. His coat. I have his coat. Where did I... Ah, here. I have God's coat. I took it from the garden. Here. Touch it, DeLacy, touch it. It is God's coat.
It is excellent fabric, my friend, but I'm afraid it's not... What is this?
What?
In the pocket, a book of some sort. Here.
It is writing.
Handwriting?
Yes. Not printing like in the other books, writing. With the hand.
Then it is a diary. Whoever wore this
God.
coat... Whoever wore this coat kept a diary. A record of his thoughts.
Here is a drawing of...
Of what, my friend?
Of me, DeLacy. It is a drawing of me. And more drawings. Yes, yes. God has made drawings as he created me, DeLacy. And there are words. God's words. It is another book of God's words. Like a good book.
My friend, you do not understand.
Oh,
What is it? What have you read?
God does not love me.
God loves all his children. He loves
I saw the dull yellow eyes of the creature open. It breathed hard, and a convulsive motion agitated its limbs.
What sort of book is this?
The beauty of my dream has vanished. Only horror and disgust fill my heart as I behold this monster I have created. God does not love me, DeLacy.
This is not about you. It is about a monster. What would you imagine it to-
Yes, a monster.
And do you not remember what you have read from our good book? God loves all his children.
Your God loves his children, DeLacy. My God does not. He does not love me.
There is only one God, my friend, and he does.
I have purchased a pistol. I will destroy it. As it has no soul, I will not have sinned. Have I no soul, DeLacy?
Oh, of course you do, my friend. These are not the words of God. Whose book is it? There must be a name on it.
A name?
On the inside front cover. Is there a name?
There is.
What is it?
Frankenstein!
Anyone home?
Hello?
Be calm, my friend. Be calm. Yes.
Good day to you.
Good day.
We've been hunting in these woods. We're thirsty, and we wondered if we
My
might-
God, Hans!
What
is that?
It's a
Look
monster!
out!
Look at the size!
No, please stop!
Ah!
Please stop! Stop!
Here he goes!
Oh, look, Justine. I found another snail. See how big?
Be careful, little cat. These rocks are slippery.
I can swim. Besides, you're right behind me. You'll catch me.
What if I don't? The Baroness won't be happy with me if you come home soaking wet.
I'll just tell her.
Watch the thorn bushes. They'll spring back and ow.
Oh, Justine, I'm sorry I didn't.
No harm done, little cat.
I've scratched your cheek. I should have been more careful. Here, my handkerchief.
It will heal. We'd best climb back up the bank and go home before it rains.
It's turned very dark, hasn't it? Oh my, I may go home soaking wet after all. Justine, I'm caught.
Hold still. We don't want to tear your...
Oh,
There. Now be careful. Give me your hand. And up we go.
oh, it's really going to rain.
Let's gather up our picnic things. Quickly.
There goes the tablecloth.
Go catch it.
It's blowing it to the forest.
Get it quickly.
I'm afraid of the forest.
It won't go far. The trees will stop it. Hurry. I felt some raindrops.
All right, then. I don't see it.
Hurry.
All right. Can't have gone far. Funny, it's not here. I don't understand
I
how.
have it.
Who's there? Show yourself.
First, you must promise that you will not be frightened.
I can't promise that. I'm already frightened. Where are you?
Catherine, did you find it?
You see, I'm not alone. I have people with me, Justine, and my brother. He's big and strong. Where are you? Let me see you.
First, you must.
You keep the tablecloth. I'll just.
No!
No, let go of me. Don't. What are you?
Please, I will not harm you.
Catherine?
Your face. Help, 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 Justine.
No, please. Shh, shh, shh. Don't. I
Let
want.
me go. Let me go.
Please,
You better let me go. My brother Victor will put you in jail. Justine.
Victor Frankenstein?
Yes, Victor Frankenstein. Justine.
You are the blood of my creator? My father? My enemy? Ah!
Catherine? Little cat? Catherine, where are you?
Woman!
Who are you? Where is Catherine?
Tell me first. Does the blood of the house of Frankenstein flow through your veins?
No, it does not. Where is Catherine?
Tell him! Tell him I did not die in the fire. Tell him it begins now! I return sorrow with sorrow, despair with despair.
Where is Catherine?
She awaits you in the clearing.
Catherine? Little cat?
I will bring you 1,000 miseries, my creator. 1,000 miseries to the day of your death.
Professor Waldman.
I came as soon as I heard. How's the Baroness?
As well as can be expected, she's...
Professor Waldman,
Baroness, my condolences.
thank you. Please, come in. I was just preparing to have tea. Will you have some with me?
Of course.
Will you join us, Henry?
Certainly. I'll find Brigitte until we have a guest for tea.
This way, Professor.
It is a lovely home.
It has always been a home full of happiness. Until now. Please have a seat.
Thank you. This is a terrible tragedy. Do they know who could have done such a thing?
They have made an arrest.
Good.
They have arrested Justine Moritz.
The young woman I met on my last visit?
Yes,
Impossible.
that is what I believe as well. Justine is like one of my own. I love her very much, and she loved Catherine. She could have never have.
Tea, Baroness.
Thank you, Brigitte. Put it here.
Will there be anything else, Baroness?
No, Brigitte, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Why have they arrested Justine Moritz?
She was with Catherine.
But still.
She had Catherine's handkerchief in her pocket, covered with blood.
Come in, Henry. Sit here.
I don't understand. She had a handkerchief.
There were deep scratches on Justine's face and hands.
So then that would explain the blood on the handkerchief.
Catherine had skin and blood underneath her fingernails. She scratched her assailant.
Motive? There must be motive.
Justine's father went mad and killed people. He told the police that the angels told him to do it.
Is there any proof that Justine had inherited that madness?
Not until now. The police believe...
And the police are wrong! Justine could have never have. Justine loved Catherine. And Catherine,
Has anyone spoken with Justine?
Henry was the first to see her after...
And the police, of course.
Victor and Elizabeth have gone to the jail to see her.
And what does Justine say?
She told the police that Catherine was murdered by a giant demon. Horrible to behold, with death in his eyes.
A demon?
You see, she was hysterical. She
But
said...
she told me something quite different.
She was distraught. She didn't know what she was saying.
What did she tell you, Henry?
She burst the door and ran right into my arms. She was crying, hysterical. She said, well...
What? What did she say?
She said she'd done something terrible.
Something terrible?
She said she'd killed Catherine.
You got visitors.
Justine!
Elizabeth!
Oh, you poor girl. Oh, this is all so horrible.
Justine.
Frankenstein, it is good of you to come.
What's this? Chains? I won't have it. Well,
I don't mind. They are my punishment.
for what? I do not for a moment believe, Justine, that you...
Justine, they say you confessed to Henry.
I confess my guilt. I sent her into the woods to retrieve our picnic cloth. Had I gone for it myself...
They believe that you did this thing and have confessed to it.
Confessed to? No, never! Oh, you must believe me!
Of course we believe you. We'll tell the magistrate to release you and...
It may not be that simple, darling.
Nonsense! I will go to the magistrate myself. I will melt the stony hearts of your enemies by my tears and prayers. I shan't let this happen to you. Catherine loved you with all of her heart, and
I loved her with all of mine. I have no fear of the punishment. I know I shall see Catherine again.
No, I won't let that happen. This will not go to trial. They
Elizabeth.
can't. Is there anything, dear, anything you can tell us that might help bring the murderer to justice?
I saw him.
Clearly.
I stood as close to him as I stand to you now.
Well then there it is. We'll give a description to the magistrate.
Elizabeth,
She saw him, Victor. We must demand that they release her.
Justine, tell Elizabeth what you saw.
No one believes me.
She saw a demon.
Yes, a giant demon, twice the size of a man, with a horrible face and eyes like death.
A demon?
You see, you don't believe me either.
I didn't say
You believe
that.
my father's blood has driven me mad, but I saw it, a giant demon, and he spoke to me.
What did he say?
It made no sense. He asked if I was the blood of Frankenstein, and then he said, tell him I did not die in the fire.
What?
It made no sense. I did not die in the fire, he said, and now I will return sorrow with sorrow, despair with despair.
You're sure of those words?
Yes, he said it begins now.
Oh, dear God.
What is it, Victor?
Did you say he was a giant?
Yes, bigger than any man I had ever seen.
More, tell me more.
He had dark hair, black, a high forehead, and scars. Deep scars on his face and his wrist, and his skin was like...
Parchment.
Yes, exactly, but how did
Dear
you...
God.
Victor?
Dear God. Forgive me. He lives. He lives yet.
In a moment, after these words from our sponsors, we will return to the WSCE Radio Players production of Frankenstein.
Good morning, Mary. Are you enjoying your latte?
Yes, I certainly am, Barb. Hey, how was your special family dinner last night?
It was fine. Billy invited his lovely new girlfriend, but Beth invited that awful friend of hers from school. She was the most rude child I had ever met. I swear it's like she was raised by wolves.
That's awful.
I know. That little so-and-so thought it would be appropriate to dip her fork in the bowl of gravy instead of using the serving spoon. She even double-dipped. Our Beth didn't even seem to care what germs could have been spread. And throughout dinner, it was all, I disagree with my parents about this, and I can think for myself that. Can you imagine? She is a horrible influence on our little girl.
How terrible. It's a shame you can't pick your child's friends.
Why can't you? With Life Incorporated, you will do just that. Is your daughter bringing home grossly independent friends? Is your son recklessly destroying your backyard and property with his new free-spirited buddy? Hello, I'm Jennifer82. At Life Incorporated, we create the friend that not only fits your child, but you as well. Simply place our Grow Up House seed pod under your sleeping child's bed at night, and by morning, we will grow you the most flawless friend you could have ever asked for. The perfect duet partner for your Juilliard-bound performer, the superb catch companion for your little future shortstop, the attentive sous chef to your aspiring cook. That and more is possible at Life Incorporated. All you need is one Grow Up House seed pod and a child's slumber, and your dreams of perfection will awaken. You'll be amazed at how fast you'll see a difference.
Nice to see you again, Barb. Tell me, did you finally grow Beth a friend?
We sure did. That's Beth and her over there at the other table.
Are they doing math? But it's summer.
I tell you, Mary, the change is almost magical. They're polite, well-mannered, and so industrious. Half the time, I don't even know what they are up to. But as long as they're quiet, it's okay by me.
That's amazing. It sounds so peaceful. Maybe I should grow a pal for our Stevie. He's gotten so rambunctious now that he's 2.
I'll tell you what. Come over for dinner tonight and see for yourself. Beth is making dinner for everyone. Her pal is teaching her how to cook. Wait until you see her new chopping skills. She's only 7, but her knife moves so fast you can barely see it coming.
I'll be sure to keep all 10 fingers out of harm's way.
Oh, Linda, you're quite the comedian. Thank you, Life Incorporated.
Your children are too precious to leave to chance. Order your Grow Up House seed pod today and let your dreams become their reality. Let us grow so they can. Life Incorporated. The future is bright. Shouldn't it be perfect?
And now, the conclusion of WSCE Radio Players' production of Frankenstein.
Good evening, Brigitte.
Good evening, sir. The family's in the parlor.
Thank you.
Henry, good of you to come.
Of course. Baroness?
Henry?
Victor?
Oh, yes. Good evening, Henry.
Please, have a seat. Have you had any success this day of execution?
No, I'm sorry. I spent all day in the judiciary. I tried, but Justine will be executed tonight at 8 o'clock.
There must be something.
There is nothing.
We've hired the best legal help for her, but
Victor paid another visit to the governor yesterday.
Any hope?
No hope at all.
I'm worried about Victor. He hasn't slept for days.
Victor,
Justine didn't do this thing, Henry. You understand that, don't you?
Yes, I do, but there's nothing we can...
Whoever has done this is a monster.
There is no doubt, my friend.
You understand what I'm saying to you, Henry? A monster.
Yes.
Justine's description, a giant demon with eyes like death.
What's he saying?
A person who would do this, Henry, must be an animal, wouldn't he? An ugly, soulless monster escaped from the fiery pits of hell.
Oh, Lord.
What is it, Victor? Henry?
Oh, nothing, Elizabeth. Victor, are you certain?
Could have been no one else.
We have to tell. We have to...
And who would believe, especially now that we've tried so desperately to stay the execution? They certainly didn't believe Justine.
But we can't just...
The clock!
Oh no! I had no idea it was so late.
What's Do you hear that?
What? I don't hear anything.
There, hear it?
No, maybe something's about outside.
No, it's, can you hear that?
What is it, Victor?
Does anybody hear that?
Victor?
Am I the only one?
Victor, are you alright?
Is my punishment for something fire from the gods? Am I to be spared nothing? Must I bear witness to this? Not this! I implore you! But chain me to the mountain!
Something's
and
wrong!
Tear my flesh!
Victor?
Please!
Victor?
Please spare me this!
What is it?
What is it? What's
What
wrong?
is it?
What do you hear?
Victor, speak to me, please! Victor!
Mercy on your soul.
Ah!
It's beautiful up here, Victor.
Yes. Yes, it is. You can see the whole valley.
Stop. Just a moment. You've been avoiding the topic for 2 weeks, Victor, but you know we must go to the authorities.
I told you, they'd never believe us. Besides, the damage is done. We can't bring Catherine back. Or Justine.
But we were responsible for it.
And did you hear what she said, Henry? He spoke to her. He spoke. He's not just a mindless animal. He's a man. I'm a god after all.
Yes, and at what cost?
You're right, of course. The cost has been too high. There's blood on my hands, Henry. Justine's blood. And the blood of my sister.
It must be destroyed.
I agree, Henry. I agree. I curse the day I made it.
Victor, do you remember that position I spoke of?
The hospital in Scotland. I remember.
I'd heard from them. The position is mine.
Excellent, Henry.
I must leave it at the end of the week, but I'll be back for your wedding. I have weapons, Victor. We could scour the mountains for him. We'd tell Elizabeth and the Baroness that we were hunting. It would in its own way be true.
They'd be busy preparing for the wedding, and happy, no doubt, to get us out of the house.
Precisely.
It's a good plan, Henry. Let's do it.
Good. Sun's starting to set. Need time for dinner.
You go ahead. I'll sit here for a bit.
Very well. Don't be too long.
Frankenstein!
Murderer! How dare you approach me? Killer of children!
I was trying to silence her, and she might have survived our meeting. But when she said her name, Frankenstein, I suddenly felt a rage I could not master. It was the rage killed her.
How do you know of me?
The diary in your coat pocket.
I thought that coat had burned.
You thought I had burned as well. You thought me dead.
I prayed it.
As I have so many times since.
Give me the chance then, and I will do you that favor.
I will not have you kill me, Victor Frankenstein, but I will bargain with you. Fulfill the bargain, and I will leave you and yours in peace. Refuse, and I will let you live. But I will glut the maw of death until it overflows with the blood of your family and friends, until you are wretched and alone, as I am.
Fiend!
Have a care, my father.
Father!
I am superior to you in every way but beauty. I am stronger, for you have made me so. I could kill you with a single blow.
Then do it!
No! I am your creature. I would have served you and bowed to you if only you had loved me, if only you had been fair to me.
Fair.
Oh, Father, be not equitable to all this and trample upon me alone. Everywhere I see happiness from which I alone am excluded. When I first came to myself in the cottage in the forest, I was benevolent and good. It was misery made me a fiend. Give me what you owe to me, and I will be benevolent and good again.
I'll give you nothing but death.
That would not be so easy as it may seem, for I have tried to make myself a present of death, and it will not come. If you had loved me, Father, if any being had loved me, I would have returned that love 100-fold. For that one creature's sake, I would have made peace with the whole of mankind.
I do not owe you love.
No, Father. I would welcome it, but I do not expect it.
What then?
I want a mate.
What?
Yes, and you must build her, a creature as hideous as myself.
You have caused a world of pain by yourself. I should make another?
Is this not owed to me? Did I request thee, Maker, from my clay to mold me man? Did I solicit thee from darkness to promote me?
You quote Milton to me?
It was one of the texts by which I learned of language and life.
Paradise Lost.
It is appropriate.
And now you want a mate?
She shall be my Eve, and I her Adam. Consent, and the world will never see us again. We shall dwell in the most savage of places, and when we die, we will not curse our Maker's name.
You would go, never to be seen or heard of again. You promised this.
I do.
Then I will do it.
When?
After the wedding. I must.
Before!
No, I must.
Before! How long were you engaged in my own creation, Father?
2 years.
Ah!
But I learned much. This I could do within 6 months.
Waste no time. Begin now!
That would be completion within days of my wedding.
And you would begin your marriage clean and new again.
Very well. I'll do it.
I will watch from the shadows, and when she is ready, I shall claim her. And Frankenstein, have a care. If you do not do this thing, I will be with you on your wedding night.
Victor? Victor!
Ah, Elizabeth.
May I come in?
I was just finishing up. I'll join you.
What have you been doing in there, Victor?
Oh, you know, research, my work.
I've barely seen you these last few months. Do you think you could find the time to be married tomorrow evening?
Yes, I think so.
Henry's just arrived from Scotland.
Good.
I thought perhaps we could all have dinner together. I'm sure Henry has stories to tell us about his new position, and the Baroness has already...
Was that thunder?
Are you paying any attention to me at all, Victor?
What? Oh, yes, of course I am, darling. I have work. Excuse me, won't you?
But Victor, I thought we could...
There you are, Elizabeth. I was just telling the Baroness that tomorrow before the wedding we could all...
Oh, Henry! I don't know that there will even be a wedding.
What? Elizabeth,
Please
you're...
excuse me, Henry.
Storms early. I'm not ready. Too many things to do and too many preparations to make. Damn! Too early. I have to hurry or I won't.
So this is what you've been up to all these months?
Henry, how did you get...
You neglected to lock the door.
Well, how good to see you again.
And what is this shrouded form on the table, Victor? Another one? Another one?
No, a bride. A bride for him. Have a look. See? A woman.
Hideous!
Well, a parent's often oblivious to their child's shortcomings.
Victor, how could you?
You don't understand, Henry. Oh, he's promised me he will take his new bride and leave forever, never to be seen again.
And what makes you think he will keep his word? Did you stitch honor into that collection of corpses, Victor?
He's promised to take her away, to live out the rest of their lives in the jungles or the Arctic Circle or wherever.
And has she made the same promise?
I beg your pardon.
What if she refuses to come out of the contract, Victor?
Well,
What if she turns away from him? How angry might he be then, Victor?
I didn't...
And then there would be two of them.
No. She will be his mate.
Children, then? A race of devils. Will they honor your pact as well?
I never thought...
And therein lies the problem. You never thought. For Elizabeth's sake, Victor, I'll remain here. And I will attend your wedding on the morrow, but then I do not want you troubling me ever again. Do you understand?
Yes, Henry. I understand.
Good evening, Victor.
So, you're living in Scotland now, Henry?
I have a position at a teaching hospital. There's a doctor there who has developed...
Professor Waldman, this is a surprise.
I wouldn't miss your wedding, Victor.
Henry?
Victor?
Well, I see by this exchange of significant looks, you have issues to address.
Another one of our ongoing philosophical debates, Professor. Sharpens the mind.
To quote the poet, the mind is its own place, and in itself can make a heaven of hell, a hell of heaven. Stormy times ahead. Let us thank our Creator, gentlemen, that we have a roof over our heads, Well, I shall see you at the dinner table.
Victor, I thought you...
Shh! Wait till he's turned the corner. There.
I thought you were going to...
The quote. What is it from?
Which? What woman said? Milton, Paradise Lost.
Odd. That evening when I encountered the creature, after you'd gone down the mountain...
Yes?
He, too, quoted from Paradise Lost.
Waldman knows more than he says, Victor. He's no fool.
Of course not, but he's no mind reader either. Coincidence. That's all it is. Coincidence.
The storm is rising. Shouldn't we get back to your work?
No?
I beg your pardon?
You were right, Henry. There is no assurance the creature would keep his word. I came very close to loosing another great monster in the world, and it shan't happen now.
I'm proud of you, Victor. You're starting a new life. Now it's time to break with the sins of your past.
The creature threatened my life, promised to be with me on my wedding night. I have a pistol.
Yes, I remember that pistol.
I'll carry it with me. We'll leave for Marseille directly after the ceremony.
Stay there for a few weeks. I'll come back to Geneva upon your return. We'll go on that hunting expedition we talked about.
Thank you, Henry. You've been a faithful friend. I owe you much.
What about your project upstairs in your laboratory? What are you going to do with...
I took an axe to it. I trust that doesn't offend your moral sensibilities. It was, after all, not yet alive.
No, of course not.
Later tonight, while the household sleeps, I'll roll it out to the middle of the lake and
Victor, Henry, Elizabeth has sent me to inform you that dinner is served.
The creature?
he has been watching my progress from the shadows. When he discovers
What in the world is that?
doubtless some animal.
Or doomed soul.
I beg your pardon.
Ah, the Baroness awaits us at the dinner table. Elizabeth, my arm. Come, gentlemen, an excellent meal this evening, and tomorrow, a wedding.
Now just stop that, Victor Frankenstein. I told you I wouldn't be long. You can't expect me to travel dressed like this.
Why not?
Victor, this is my wedding dress. The cinders from the smokestack would ruin it.
It's a very modern railway, Elizabeth.
Oh, yes, and the last time I traveled on that very modern railway, I counted 16 little holes burned in my dress. I have traveling clothes, thank you very much. It won't take me a moment.
It better not. I don't think the train will wait for us.
Unfasten me in the back.
Very well. Oh, so many buttons. That's something I've always wanted to know.
What's that, dear?
Why do women put the buttons in the back, where they can't be reached? It makes no sense to me. Why not put them in the front, like in a man's shirt?
Stop for a moment.
What?
Stop for a moment. I want to turn around.
Very well.
Now, you see this effect in the front.
Oh, yes. It was the first thing I noticed about that dress. I'm in favor of it.
Well, my darling, in order to make the front look the way you men seem to like it, we must put the buttons in the back. You see?
Well, if that's what does it,
That's what does it.
then I vote we keep the buttons in the back.
Oh, you vote in the majority, darling. Now, finish the buttons.
131, 132, 133.
No such thing.
It seems like it. There.
Finished?
Finished. Turn around now and throw your arms out like the way you did before.
Oh, not until we reach Marseille.
Can I wait that long, do you think?
Oh, you shall have to. Stay here. I shan't be long.
You might want to pack up that dress, so we can study the effect in the Marseille.
Victor, what are you doing here? Your train is in 20 minutes.
She needed to change her clothes before the trip. Henry, do you know why the buttons are in the back of a woman's dress?
No.
Well, when I turn around and hold my arms out like this, the effect isn't the same.
You're going to miss the train.
Where's the luggage?
Outside in the cabriolet.
Good man. We'll be off in no time.
I take you stole the pistol?
Yes, but I didn't need it, you see. The creature dared not come near me with so many people in the house all day. And the charge this evening, and in less than 20 minutes, will be...
What?
Elizabeth! My God, Elizabeth! Elizabeth!
Open the door!
Open the door!
Are you right?
Can you hear me? Where?
On the floor, there!
Elizabeth!
Victor.
Oh my God, Elizabeth!
Victor.
Wake up, darling!
It's no
Wake
use.
up!
She's
Elizabeth!
gone.
Elizabeth! Please! Please wake up!
Victor.
Elizabeth!
I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
my darling Elizabeth!
Victor.
I have been such a fool, Henry! Such a self-centered fool! Oh, I thought it was my life he threatened, but it was never his intent. It was her life. Oh, my sweet dearest Elizabeth! Please forgive me.
We heard a scream.
Victor, what? Oh.
Baroness!
She's fainted. Henry, help me get her into the other bedroom. Carefully now. Carefully. In here, yes.
How can you be gone, Elizabeth? How can I live without you?
Now we both grieve lost love, Frankenstein.
You monster! I curse the day I made you!
As do I, Frankenstein, for I'm the most wretched creature on earth. Shall each beast have his mate, each man his wife, and I be alone? Shall you be allowed the joy of love and companionship, while I grovel in my wretchedness, alone and unloved?
Why did you not kill me half a year ago, when you had the chance?
Because then I had hope, Frankenstein, hope, with you at the center of it. Now I have only revenge. And again, you stand at the center. I abandon hope and replace it with revenge. I abandon love and seek revenge. You may blast all other passions, but revenge remains. I may die, but I promise that you will pray for death. You shall curse the God who gave you life, just as I curse mine. And finally, this shall be my revenge.
Monster! I will destroy you!
If you would destroy me, you must pursue me and bring me to ground. I head north to the Baltic Sea, and ever northward to the frozen wastelands of the poles. Ah!
Victor, what?
The window.
Look out!
He's getting away!
He's gone, Victor. You never hear him from here.
Victor.
Professor, how is my mother?
The Baroness suffered a heart attack, Victor. The shock was too much.
We must get her to a hospital where we
It is
can...
too late, Victor. I'm sorry.
Revenge. He promised revenge.
Victor.
Professor, that creature is...
I know who he is, Victor. And I know what relationship you bear to him.
You know?
Yes, Henry, I know. Your ambitions were always transparent, Victor, and always greater than your discretion. I am an old man and have had time to make many alliances. I know the people at the charnel houses, the living who haunt the churchyards and bear witness, the professional mourners who will weep for a fee and deliver a corpse for a few pennies more. Yes, I know. I have known for a very long time.
You said nothing.
Would it have made a difference, Victor?
No.
For those who would play God, there is always a reckoning.
I will find him. I will find him and destroy him. It shall be my life's work.
And I am with you, Victor, to the ends of the earth.
Good. For that is where we must go, Henry. To the pole. To the ends of the earth. Henry! Up here!
Sir's coming down harder, Victor.
We can see him for miles up here. Henry, I thought with luck we might see him.
I see nothing but snow and ice. That's all we've seen for the last 3 weeks.
And his tracks.
He knows we're after him, Victor. He's eating us on. He doesn't want to use us.
I know.
Have you any idea where we are?
They're near the pole itself.
I just had 2 more dogs die.
We'll combine both teams on one sled.
Have you made plans about getting back?
No. No, I haven't.
There it is again.
It's the sea ground underneath us, causing it to shift.
Yes, but the snow is on top of the ice, and we are on top of the snow. What happens if the ice breaks?
We must catch up to him. He can't be more than a mile or 2 ahead of us now.
Wind's coming up.
Look there!
Looks like some kind of white curtain being drawn across.
Snowstorm! It's a snowstorm coming straight for us! Quickly, Henry! Down the hill to the dogs before it hits! Stay close. If we lose sight of each other now, we never... Look out! Henry! Where are you, Henry?
Victor! Victor, can you hear me? Victor, the ice is cracking. Where are you? Victor, is that you? I can't see through the... Yes, give me your hand, Victor. Here, give me your hand. Wait, don't let go. You. Ah!
Henry? Henry! Where are you? Henry! Henry! The ice broke. I found myself drifting on diminishing device for I cannot say how long. Watching the dogs die one by one, I have seen so much death. Nor can I say what happened to my faithful friend, Henry Cabal. I pray the cold took him. I fear my creation may have found him. I haven't much time left.
Nonsense. The ship's surgeon says you'll do it right.
Do not try to deceive me. Forget I, too, am a physician, and know more intimately than most the workings of a human body. Mine is winding down, but my task is unfulfilled. Must I die while he lives? No, I must.
Don't try to rise, my friend.
Look who has joined us.
What?
Captain, this is my dear friend, Henry Cabal.
Oh.
And there's my mother, and Justine, and Catherine. It's so good to see you. Elizabeth. Oh, Elizabeth. I thought I had lost you.
Victor.
My hand? Of course. My darling, here. Here's my hand.
At last, my friend, you have found peace.
How is he, Captain?
Prepare for a burial at sea on the morrow.
Aye, sir.
We making some progress here?
Aye, sir. Got sea room now.
I see the ice falls have thinned out.
Yes, sir. Clear water ahead.
Good. I'll go back below deck, or off the body, and perhaps catch some sleep in a spare bunk.
Aye, Captain.
What? Oh my God!
Please, do not fear me. I am ugly, but I mean no harm.
Strange words from a murderer.
He has told you then.
He has told me everything.
He is my victim too. I have murdered him as I have murdered everyone he loved. If only he had loved me as well.
Loved you?
Oh, Frankenstein, forgive me for my trespasses.
You feel remorse?
I do.
Would that you had felt it sooner.
Do you believe that I did not? My heart was fashioned for love and sympathy, and when it was denied these, it could not endure and turned to hatred.
And murder.
Murder was the only instrument I had to engage my creator, my God, my parent. But with each death I loathed myself more.
And yet you did not stop.
I could not. Do you think their screams were music to my ears? They were prayers to my God who had rejected me. If I could not have his love, I would settle for his hatred. And yet each death made me more miserable. And now it is ended. And here lies my last victim.
You are a devil.
Yes, I am. Still, I am the same creature whose heart was once filled with beauty and goodness. The fallen angel turned malignant devil, but even Satan had company in his desolation. I am alone.
Don't look for sympathy from me, monster.
I long ago gave up hope for sympathy, just as I have abandoned hope for love. But if he had loved me, if there had been a single being who loved me, what might I have been? What might I have done? I shall leave your ship now, on the ice raft that brought me here.
And then?
I shall seek land and build a raging funeral pyre. The flames will reach to the heavens. All my evil deeds and memories will end, but so will the glorious ones. I will no longer see the sun or feel the cheering warmth of summer. I will never again hear the birds sing or see the glittering stars or feel the breeze play on my cheeks. All the images I hold within my heart will fade. All those moments will be lost, like tears in rain. Time to end.
In one leap he reached the steps. In another he was on the deck. Then he vaulted overboard to the ice raft which lay close beside my vessel. We gathered at the rail and watched as he was bore away by the waves and lost forever in the darkness and the distance. Signed, Robert Walton, Captain's Log, November 5th, 1818.
You have been listening to the WSCE production of Frankenstein by Philip Grecian, based on the novel by Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley. Commercials were written by Jennifer 357 at Life Incorporated. Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed the show. Tune in again in 2 weeks' time when we perform War of the Worlds. And now, WSCE is signing off for the broadcast day. Good night, and pleasant dreams.